Welcome back to online teaching of Standard 7 Science, chapter number 14, Elements, Compounds and Mixtures. Let's recall, all the objects are made up of matter. There are three types of states of matter. They are solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. Many kinds of matter found in nature are in pure form, that is, they contain only one constituent. In scientific language, matter made of only one constituent is called substance. For example, gold, diamond, water, chalk. Other kinds of matter are made of two or more substances. They are called mixtures. A substance whose molecules are made of one or more atoms which are exactly alike is called an element. The smallest particles of elements are made of only one type of atoms. We cannot see atoms with our naked eyes, but when crores of atoms come together, their total volume is large enough to be visible to our eyes. Democritus named the small particles of elements atom in Greek language atoms. John Dalton used certain symbols to represent elements, and Berzelius used the symbol of an atom is written in an English script. Elements are generally classified into two groups. They are metals and non-metals. We have studied the properties of metals such as malleability, ductility, conductivity of heat and electricity, density, luster and sonority. Malleability means metals can be converted into sheets by hammering. Ductility means metals can be stretched and drawn into wires. Conductivity means conductivity of heat and electricity. Electricity flows through metals even when a piece of a metal is heated at one place, the whole of it becomes hot. So it shows that metals allow heat to flow them. And density, luster means metal have a typical shine. So every metal has a characteristic color by which it can be identified. Sonority means metals produce a ringing sound. This property is called the sonority of metals. So this all the elements shows some properties. These properties are called metals. The elements that do not show these properties are called non-metals. For example, phosphorus, sulfur and chlorine. The elements that show some properties of metals and some properties of non-metals are called metalloids. This is the third group of elements. Arsenic, silicon, selenium are examples of metalloids. Compounds. The substance formed by a chemical combination of two or more elements is a compound. For example, take sugar in a test tube and heat the test tube. Observe what happens, what remains behind. The sugar melts and then it loses water, leaving behind a black substance. This black substance is called carbon. And what does this imply? How many elements in sugar made of? Sugar is a sucrose. A molecule of sugar is composed of 12 atoms of carbon, 22 atoms of hydrogen and 11 atoms of oxygen. So this is the molecular formula of sugar, C12H22O11. So sugar is a compound made from these three elements, that is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Always remember, a substance is a compound only if its molecules are made up of atoms of different types. Water is a compound. One molecule of water is made of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. The molecular formula of water is H2O. So that's why the water is a compound, because one molecule of water is made of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. So that's why water is a compound. Hydrogen is a combustible substance. Combustible means it burns. That is, it burns. Oxygen helps combustion. Combustion means it is used for extinguish a fire. But water, which is formed by a combination of hydrogen and oxygen, is used to extinguish a fire. In other words, the properties of a compound are different from those of the constituent elements. Like an element, a compound is also written in an abbreviated form. Abbreviated means it is a short form. A molecule of a compound is formed by a chemical combination of atoms of two or more elements. For example, we written H2O, like that oxygen O2, carbon dioxide CO2. So therefore, a molecular formula is used to represent a compound. A molecular formula of a compound is a short form of its name written with the help of symbols of the constituent elements and the number of their respective atoms.